beans, which basically most doctors say is really healthy. Mainstream doctors say like really healthy for your body. The thing is, beans has lectins, which are anti-nutrient, which are plant toxin, and lectins can disrupt your gut, which basically it is because we are not adapted to it. Beans like already exist like 1,000 years ago, like 5,000, 6,000, something like that. But the thing is, we are more adapted to ruminant animals, flesh and fat. It is because according to the Darwinian principle of evolution, according to the biological genetic adaptation, it shows that humans, Homo sapiens, which we are right now, have been exposed ruminant animals, flesh and fat, like 4.5 million years ago. Million. Which basically beans, vegetable, grains, all of them was like couple thousand years ago, which basically when the humans started to eating grains, when the humans starting to algae culture, which basically they started farming, they started planting the seed, they started planting the vegetable. Before that, before algae culture start, which basically algae culture is a culture of people like planting the seed and eating like grains, eating like vegetable. The thing is, it is because the the type of food, for example, the mammoth started to goes to extinct, which basically it makes the humans started to eating grains to keep them survival. But the thing is, it's not optimal because our genes are not exposed to it in a very long time yet. I mean, yeah, beans has like amino acids, like people say. For example, if you go to the vegan, right, you want the amino acid protein, you just like relying on the tofu, relying on the beans. But the thing is, the composition of amino acids versus beef is inferior. Beef is far more nutritious in every single way. It has like creatine, taurine, carnitine, which cannot be found in any plant's foods. Only can found in animals' product. But the thing is, if you have this like limiting belief that if beef are we are adapted to eat, which basically we should eat more red meat, ruminant animals, specifically ruminant animals, then why there's a lot of like study that shows that having a high consumption of red meat can cause like colon cancer, and also like have a digestive issue because they lack of fiber. And they say like glucose is really important for the main energy. The thing is, your body your body has a two source for energy. One is glucose and one is fat, and your body is prefer fat for energy. It is because fat has essential nutrients like vitamin A, retinol, and D3, K2, the MK4 version, E, EPA, and DHA, conjugated lactic acids. That's These are essential nutrients that our need that cannot be found in animals' product. That cannot be found in any plant foods. And if you do like found in plant foods that have like EPA and DHA, which it is true, it has some of the plant foods. For example, it's like sorry, I'm not sure, but it's like from the damn. I'm not sure, but there's a some of the plant food that have like ALA, which alpha linoleic acids, linolenic linolenic acids, which can convert to EPA and DHA. But the thing is, the conversion rate is super low, like below 5%. You imagine like 100%, right? 100% like 5% only conversion rate, and some people and mostly people cannot even do that. So why not? having a EPA and DHA, which omega-3 fatty acids that can be found in animals' product. For example, it's like grass-fed beef with really high in omega-6 fatty acids. Other than that, like, we are not doctor, and all the study that you saw, like, causing cardiovascular plaque, whatever it is, the thing is that all associated. Association, which basically association is like, you imagine this analogy, right? We have one class. There's a class. Inside the class has like 20 person, right? 20 student. So basically, there's a one student, really, really top. They're very genius. They're very like, what do you say? Very like top in the class. They get straight A plus all the subject. It's like very good student, very like clever, very intelligent. The thing is, if we observe them, all right, they have like, they're smoking and also they're drinking alcohol, and other than that, they're staying up late, and also they have a smell unhygienic, very smell bad. They have a smell bad odor. Should we like sorry, bro, should we like conclude that, all right, that's mean we should like have a bad odor and also drinking alcohol and smoking, therefore we can be intelligent? Of course, there's bullshit, right? There's the association study. It's not causal. Causal, if you want to prove that red meat is a very dangerous in high amount of consumption of it, we should like have a causal, which are scientifically proven, which for example is like, in this case, which I give analogy, is the student, right? The top, the very clever, the intelligent one, right? Which basically we control all the variables, we control everything, their sun exposure, what they eat. We just like, you imagine this one class, and this is a very intelligent person, right? And then also the 19%, the whole class is 20%. Sorry, 20 students, and there's a one student, and the rest is 19 student, which like average people, right? And they want to be being like this one student, which is very intelligent, whatever it is, right? The thing is, we should like make everything the same. So basically, if this guy smell nice, this group also smell nice. If this group like what study 3 hours, this group also study 3 hours. If this student like sleep 9 hours, this also group sleep 9 hours. Everything the same. Maybe there's a like one different. For example, it's like the way he study it, how much he studied. This the for example. Okay, back to the nutrition, which basically in nutrition we control everything. For example, this group eating only like red meat, ruminant animals, flesh and fat, only red meat. Only they're eating only that, which basically a lion diet. And also this group is like, like Western diet, like pyramid food, right? They consuming like, high fruits, high vegetable, which high grain, which pyramid food recommend to you, and they're like in a normal diet. And other than that, everything all the same. The type of clothes, the polyester, whatever it is, were the same. They're wearing like cotton, the same material. They sleep 9 hours. This group also sleep 9 hours. They eating like 3 times per day. This also like eating 3 times per day. The thing is, it so take a lot of cost and takes a lot of like time. It is because the degenerate disease, like, cardiovascular plaque, with diabetes, obesity, something like that, takes time, takes decades, takes few years. So basically, you imagine you have a two group doing the same thing for a few years. Even though they have a birthday party, they cannot drinking alcohol, they cannot consuming cake, because they have to like staying the same thing. You know what I mean? So basically, this group like not consuming alcohol. This group also not consuming alcohol. It's not only alcohol. It's like all the variables. This group is low stress. This group is also in low stress life. You imagine like how much like many so much variables. The thing is, we don't have that kind of study. We don't have scientifically proven of study on humans. So we cannot like claim, we cannot like says that beef can cause like cardiovascular progression, even though there's a high cholesterol, but doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It is just an association, you got the point. Which basically all of them like just a theory. The thing is, even though people might say, what if the theory is right? The thing is, what do you mean theory is right? We are dated to it like 4.5 million years ago, which we humans back then, like millions and millions years ago. If we are like, which basically we are very carnivorous. We are like hyper predator. What do you call it? Hyper carnivore, which basically we eat like 80% of ruminant animals. Very carnivore. Carnivore than wolf. Carnivore than hyenas. Which basically we are the top. You know the food chain, right? The triangle, right? The bottom is like grass. The upper is like some insects, then birds, then snake, then cow, whatever it is, and then the top is like usually the meat eater, which basically usually is a carnivore, and which basically humans are the most highest. If your goal is to being attractive, it's literally you have to being healthy first. It is because you want to fix your skin issues, you want to fix your body fat. Just all relies on the diet mostly. And it is because if you have a lot of problems, for example, is you want to trying to eat carnivore diet, but the thing is your parents like against you. They say cholesterol is really bad. They say that saturated is really bad, even though there's a new study that shows that it's really crucial and it's essential and there's no problem in high amount. So all the problems I will solve there, and all my nutrition guide I will support you. Link the description below where I have a guide that teach you all the knowledge you need and also solve all the problems which basically that hinder your goals to achieve the to being optimally healthy in the diet. So link in the description below.